you very much for this, and your speakers, and to the Arab Human Rights Organization for bringing us together to discuss this issue. I would like to just do a very quick, if you don't mind, a very quick summary of what is going on at the ICC that would help us understand where is the pressure points, what can we do more or less precisely in order for us to force, if you will, the ICC into moving forward with the war crimes investigation that has been already approved years ago by the Office of the Prosecutor. And that jurisdiction, as we all know, covers the West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem, even though the time of that jurisdiction supposed to cover, back to 2014. So it will cover the 2014 war and everything that happened since then. The Palestinians, of course, want to enlarge in the scope of that investigation to go beyond or prior to 2014. And they also want to enlarge in the scope of the investigation regarding the topics itself, because we all know that the ICC covers more than just war crimes. They cover war crimes, crimes against humanity, crimes of aggression, or crimes against peace, along with a very specific criteria of crimes, and including, of course, the crime of genocide. And all of these crimes can be argued since 1948 until today have actually been committed by Israel. So why aren't we moving forward? There's total clarity, and the jurisdiction of the court has already been verified by the pre-trial chamber. So why are we still kind of stuck waiting for Mr. Karim Khan to move forward with that investigation that should have been not only carried through, but in fact concluded? And this is not an exaggeration. I mean, the fact that the ICC has managed to carry out an investigation based on referrals by other countries that are not even involved in the ICC. Russia and Ukraine are not members of the ICC. They are not signatories, and they are not, and therefore they haven't ratified the Rome Statute. And some of the countries that have pushed the ICC to indict alleged war criminals in Russia include the United States, actually mainly the United States, which is not only not a member of the ICC, not a friend of the court, has not ratified the ICC, the Rome Statute, but has actually, during the Trump administration, passed an executive order that would punish ICC judges, including Fatou Bensouda herself, for carrying out or pursuing alleged war crimes against Israel in occupied Palestine and against the United States military in Afghanistan. Yet they managed, within the course of a single year, to issue arrest warrants of Putin, Lavnovna, and others within the accused Russian war crime cartel. Within the case of Palestine, this has been going on for years. Palestine was admitted to the ICC in early January 2015. The ICC began preliminary investigations 2 weeks after that took place. In 2019, we're talking 4 years here, the Office of the Prosecutor concluded that the issue of territorial jurisdiction, meaning the ICC's jurisdiction over the investigation in Palestine, Israel, needed to be resolved before the investigation carried forward. That doesn't make much sense. And you don't need to be a legal expert to actually understand that it doesn't make sense. I say it doesn't make sense because Palestine has already been admitted as a state into the ICC and has ratified the Rome Statute. Therefore, Palestine alone, without the help of any Arab, Muslim, Middle Eastern country or any country in the global south, doesn't need to be referred. It refers itself. It happened in about 7 other cases, all in Africa, in which cases were referred directly to the ICC. But when it came to Palestine, they said, let's get a different opinion. And why is that? Why changing the legal dynamics and send the issue back to the pretrial chamber? But believe it or not, the pretrial chamber said that yes, the issue of jurisdiction should be resolved. The ICC has jurisdiction over the situation in Palestine, Israel. During that time, as if the ICC, so what I'm saying here, the issue precedes that of Karim Khan. Let's not be confused that Karim Khan has started this mess. He's part of the mess. But then Bensouda went and said, well, let's get a different opinion. Let's open up the stage for what they call amici curiae, the friends of the court, to come and offer their legal opinions. Basically, they wanted lobby groups to lobby within the ICC legal and political structure on behalf of Israel. So you had countries that the Czech Republic, Germany, Austria, and others, and Hungary, of course, they came and they started lobbying on behalf of Israel, saying the ICC does not have jurisdiction. Palestine needs to become a state, full state first, before that to be, before the investigation to carry on, and so forth and so on. At last, 2021, Bensouda said, the ICC has jurisdiction and an investigation is now open. But it stopped there. And I think that is the challenge that we Palestinians have, is that now we have a conclusion from the ICC itself that it has jurisdiction, that Palestine is a state according to the ICC's own standards of statehood, and therefore an investigation is not should be open, but is officially open. But that doesn't mean much if we don't have an actual procedure. And this is where really the big challenge is for Palestinians, because now we are discovering that the ICC, not that we did not know, but now we are discovering that the ICC is actually not illegal structure, but rather illegal and apolitical. In fact, I would say mainly political structure and then illegal structure. So we need to find how do we fight within the ICC. Now, the friends of the court, the amici curiae of the ICC don't just include the pro-Israel countries. It includes the Arab leagues and the Organization of Islamic Countries, among others. And we have to work with these friends of the courts who are lobbying on behalf of Palestine to put greater pressure on Karim Khan, because we are closer than ever in actually getting that investigation moving forward. And there is the issue of credibility that the ICC now has because of their hypocrisy, comparing the way that they are investigating alleged war crimes in Russia compared to their failure to move forward on the alleged war crimes carried out in Palestine. And even if the scope of the investigation is not enlarged to include prior dates and years, like some of the crimes committed before 2014, as discussed by Nadia and others, even if that doesn't happen, and even if the definition of war crimes remain confined to a single type of war crimes, still there are very strong cases to be made that Israeli war criminals, many of them, should be paraded before the international community, and they should be held legally and morally accountable for crimes committed in Palestine since then and that are being committed in Palestine every single day. The latest being a young teenager killed in Balata, and yesterday and the day before and the day before that. All of this has to be investigated, but for that to happen, we need to understand that the ICC is not an independent legal procedure, and we just need to wait and see where the law is going to take us. We need to understand that it's a political institution, and therefore nothing but political pressure would work in these kind of situations. And thank you.